Oprah Winfrey once said, "Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never ever have enough." This statement sums up frugality and stinginess. The frugal take steps to enjoy what they have, while stingy people always have their noses inside their wallets counting what they don't have. Here's how to tell who's who. Number 10. Their home life. A stingy man will live in a shack if that means he never has to use his money. Most times, a home is a reflection of the people who live there, and you can tell a lot of what they value and their character from what you see around you. Frugal people know that less is more and do invest in their homes. If the plumbing is faulty or the floor is creaking, they'll find ways to do it themselves, or find a way to reduce repair costs with a professional. A stingy person will look the other way. Rather than fix the bathroom, they'll declare it out of use because they can't imagine parting with the money to fix it. Frugal people also stock up on food in their pantry. They just don't double buy. Stingy people prefer to eat on the go, hoping to buy later on with a better deal or have someone else do it. This mindset follows through to design and decor around the house. While frugal people will put up one or two pieces that means a lot to them, stingy people can't stand to put up anything that costs money. They'd rather fill the house with broken pottery and call it art. Simply put, frugal people have neat homes that are a reflection of their organized lives. Stingy people have messy places to highlight their selfishness. Number 9. Generosity. Even a Girl Scout could never be able to get $5 from a stingy person. They live by the stingy life principle, put your money where you can see it. Don't be surprised if you find a money shrine in their houses. Bottom point, a stingy person will never part with their money for a cause that doesn't directly benefit them. They'll always come up with excuses as to why they can't give the money. Either some item they really want is going on sale, or they don't know where they place their other money that is not in their wallet. Frugal people, on the other hand, are generous within reason. They won't go handing $10 to every homeless person they come across, but they plan for their giving. They know how much they can spend on social calls in a month. Frugal people will contribute to drives and fundraisers as long as they are not pressured to pay more than they can afford. They won't think twice about dropping their change in a child's jar. Most of the actions the frugal person takes are geared towards making the world a better place, and generosity helps achieve that. Number 8. Their conversations. You will be able to spot a stingy person from a frugal person during their conversations. Stingy people lean heavily towards price and are more negative. They are likely to frown upon every item on the list before they pick the cheapest and declare how they could afford more but won't. They are more likely to say, "Can't believe they spent $1,000 for that. Imagine what I could do with $1,000. Frugal people, on the other hand, don't have to turn every conversation into a financial seminar. They can advise their friends better without dwelling on the financial mishap. A stingy person will talk of how they've successfully paid for nothing, maybe tapping their neighbor's Wi-Fi and cable, or not using hot water. A frugal person will mention how they've gotten better deals for their money, a better data plan, and solar heating. Stinginess is happy to never use its money. Frugality wants to use its money smartly. Number 7. Their time. There is a difference in how the stingy and the frugal spend their time. Frugal people thrive on discipline. They know when to exercise, when to do their chores to optimize resources, when to rest, and when to put in the extra time or work a side hustle. Stingy people cannot be bothered by that. They don't have any set plan for their time and have no discipline to see it through. For as long as they are not losing money, they don't care. Stingy people won't take up a side hustle because that's too much work, and they already have plenty of money since they never spend. Rather than optimize their resources through activities like bulk cooking and having a laundry day, they'll leave it all for the last minute and break out in a panic over how much they have to do. Frugal people are also selective with the people they hang out with. They know that they can't make happy hour every other day and can't attend every event they are invited to. Stingy people will always show up for as long as they are not paying. When they are supposed to pay, they'll mysteriously fall sick or have an emergency. In short, frugal people try to ensure all their time is productive, unlike stingy people. Number 6. Perspectives on fun and entertainment. Within their budget, frugal people always leave room for fun. This could be a trip they've saved up for, or a monthly concert, or movie night. They try to go cheap on fun and entertainment, and know that they can entertain themselves better at home. That means they are more likely to host dinner parties and game nights since they are relatively cheaper. Frugal people will also opt for digital options so that their homes are not cluttered with all their interests. like subscribing to one streaming platform. Stingy people are not so inclined. They believe fun and entertainment are only for the rich who can afford to part with that money. They'll hold off paying for a concert of their favorite artist because that is money they can't afford to part with. Rather than invest in things they want, like their favorite board game for the family, they'd rather walk miles to borrow from their friends. Frugal people know that the point of money is to help them enjoy life more responsibly. Stingy people, on the other hand, suffocate any idea of fun if it requires even the least amount of money. Number 5. Long-term consequences. Frugal people are all about enjoying the now while preparing for the future. Stingy people are more fixated on the now. Did they save an extra $1 today? Can they get away without paying today? It doesn't matter that someone might interrupt some of their fraudulent dealings like avoiding taxes. Frugal people always weigh the impact of their decisions. Will going green in their transportation make a difference in the environment? Will fixing their plumbing prevent future damage? This is why the frugal will buy quality products and limit how often they have to replace them. Frugal people have more financial discipline and will pay off more than the minimum on their credit cards, and will spend the necessary money to make an investment in stocks or real estate. Stingy people cannot be bothered to think beyond the current week. All they think about is paying less in the present and then suffer the long-term consequences later, like having a car break down on the highway when they could have fixed it before. Number 4. Perspectives on budget and saving. Frugal people take the budget as their gospel truth. If it's not on the budget, they won't buy it. They also have their savings set up: savings account, retirement account, emergency fund, and faithfully make their payments. To stick to their budget, frugal people won't go impulse shopping. They also take inventory of what they have before they go out and buy more. There is always a plan for their money, and they see it through. The only plan stingy people have is to not spend anything. Because they never spend anything, they don't see the use of a budget or a savings account. Unfortunately, sometimes when they are driven by need, they will go beyond what they had hoped to spend. They'll go splurge on cheap things, hoping they are getting a good deal. A budget is not a restraint on your money. It just helps you steward it better. Number 3. Affects relationships differently. Much as most people are uncomfortable with frugality, everybody hates stinginess. If you've ever watched the show Cheapskates, you know you feel uncomfortable watching them make unwise and unhealthy decisions. Frugal people exercise a financial discipline that is easy to understand, though some people don't want to face the fact that they spend their money needlessly. When necessary, frugal people will help you in case of a financial pinch. Stingy people would never. They are quick to borrow everything in your house, but will never return the favor. Once people learn that, stingy people are eventually isolated and left friendless. They embarrass all those that are close to them. In contrast, once people see how well frugal people manage their finances, no debt, hefty savings, happier lives, they are encouraged to adopt the lifestyle for themselves. In short, stinginess is a repellent, and frugality is a financial boundary. Number 2. Perspectives on self. Stingy people are more self-absorbed than narcissists. Everything should revolve around them. They have no problem asking for money, but will throw a tantrum if someone asks them for $1. They try to cheat the system to work for them, like using their neighbor's tools and garden in their absence, but will call out someone else doing the same thing. They will make personal decisions to the detriment of everyone else, especially if they are in a position of authority. For example, they might pick cheaper curtains that offer no privacy for everyone else in the house. Frugal people, on the other hand, don't think of themselves as more important than what's normal. Instead, they are always trying to create a positive impact by going green and being more present with their friends and family. Because they have a plan for their money, they won't be tempted to ask for money or take advantage of someone else. They are open to advice and know that for frugal living to be successful, those they live with should be on board. Stingy people are selfish. Frugal people are communal. Before we get into number 1, make sure to check out the links in the description for our best recommendations to boost your savings. Number 1. Think of value above cost. The point of frugal living is to spend less. That means they weigh quality over quantity. They would rather buy a higher-priced quality item so that they don't have to keep replacing it. This works for their furniture, appliances, and clothes. They also think of value when considering trips and travel and social gatherings. They try to surround themselves with things and people that serve a purpose with intentionality. This way, they are able to say no to what doesn't serve them. On the other hand, the point of stingy living is to spend nothing. That means they will always gravitate to the least priced item. It doesn't matter that they will have to replace it in 2 weeks. All that matters is that at the time they bought it, it cost less. They would rather buy their kids a poster of the beach than to take them for a little outing. In everything they do, they are blinded by the cost. There is no intentionality to anything they do, whether it's spending time with family or trying to pick up a new skill to reduce cost. You can always tell what matters to a person based on where they spend their money, and the differences between frugal people and stingy people can help you pick them out. Make sure to check out the next video. You're going to get a ton of value from this one. See you there.